Welcome along to Autodromo di Vallelunga, everybody, for the NASCAR Grand Prix of Italy, the American Festival of Rome. That's because we're just outside of the capital city and plenty of fans have flocked already this weekend to enjoy pure racing. We've already had one of the finals this weekend, so let's look back at what happened in race one. It was the championship leader, Tobias Dauenhauer, who was joined by Vladimir Choitsis on the front row of the grid. And when the lights went out, it was the championship leader, Dauenhauer, that got the better start. Whereas for Vladimir Choitsis, he would drop down into third place at the wheel of the number one Alex Caffey Academy Motorsport Ford and would come under pressure from Martin Dubeck, who would eventually squeeze his way through into the podium spots. All important points for the number 7 Ford in the hands of the Czech driver. He was just 3 points adrift of Tobias Dauenhauer coming into race one of the weekend, and would look to try and see if he could pick up another place or two to try and close the championship deficit. However, Vladimir Choitsis was not making it easy and kept pushing hard, and needed to as well, because both of the Fords were getting caught by the Chevy, the number 66 car in the hands of the teenage Belgian, Simon Palat, who was looking to try and work his way through into contention as well. Choitsis ran a little bit wide coming out of Chimney 1 and Chimney 2 as the number 1 Ford slowed, and instantly Simon Palat took the opportunity to move through into 4th position, dropping Choitsis, who lay 3rd in the championship, down to 5th. There was then a spin for the Indian Advait Deoda, and his car became stranded at the side of the circuit. That would bring about a brief safety car period. It would bunch up the pack, but it would still be sufficient for Tobias Dauenhauer to hang on to the lead of the race, whilst at the restart, Martin Dubeck had worked his way through into 2nd position. So it would be a 13-point gap between the two of them going into the final race of the weekend. Dauenhauer with his 5th win of the season. It's the same format as ever. There are 2 championships, 4 races in total over the weekend. EuroNASCAR Pro is for the pro drivers. Loris Hazemans leads the way. And for EuroNASCAR 2 that's coming up, Tobias Dauenhauer, as we mentioned, is the championship leader. All of the drivers now starting to get used to this wonderful Vallelunga circuit. It's 4 kilometres in length, 2.5 miles, 14 corners for them to try and get used to. The weather slightly cloudier today, 16 degrees C, and again, it will be a 15-lap race, which will dictate who is going to claim the championship crown. The fastest lap from yesterday also gives us the grid for today. Tobias Dauenhauer will start from pole.
I think it's going to be interesting. It will be a good action for the fans, but yeah, hopefully I can drive my own race and I have a good pace, and yeah, then let's see what we end, and hopefully we will stay on P1.
We'll have to see who stays on P1. It could be Tobias Dauenhauer, Martin Dubeck, Vladimir Choitsis, Nave Talor. Even mathematically, Justin Kuntz could claim the championship in this race. The fans are ready, the drivers are ready, and we are ready to crown a champion in EuroNASCAR 2 2021. Tobias Dauenhauer and Francesco Garisto on the front row of the grid, with Martin Dubeck and Simon Palat on row number 2. Buckle up for the final time in EuroNASCAR 2 this year. We go green. A great start from Tobias Dauenhauer, but a really good start from Francesco Garisto, who's looking to try and get the run as they head up towards Curve Grande. They lean on each other. Tobias Dauenhauer having none of it, but Garisto gets a better run coming out of Curve Grande and will pick up the lead of the race, whilst Tobias Dauenhauer is now under attack from his main championship rival, Martin Dubeck, who's trying around the outside at the wheel of the 2nd of the Hendricks Fords, and he goes through and ahead of his teammate. There's contact further back, and that's drivers that were 4th and 6th in the championship get tangled up together, which is Vladimir Choitsis and Simon Palat. They are out, I'm afraid, of the race and the championship hunt as a result of that incident. So it's Garisto that leads, Martin Dubeck in 2nd place. It's now Nave Talor in 3rd, Justin Kuntz in 4th. Tobias Dauenhauer is down into 5th position, but 5th at the moment is still enough for him to claim the championship crown. Nice to see Simon Palat out of the car. That was a big hit for the 19-year-old Belgian. So Garisto leads, Dubeck in 2nd place, but starting to close up on the race leader. Now, if Martin Dubeck can take the lead of the race, all of a sudden 5th position is not sufficient for Tobias Dauenhauer to claim the championship. So he's got to try and keep an eye on what his main rival and teammate is doing, because Dubeck, 2nd place, has really now caught up onto the coattails of Francesco Garisto, who is looking for his first career win in the NASCAR Whelen Euro Series. They come through Trinchea with Garisto under pressure. Dubeck doesn't try anything as they head in towards the right-hander at Semaforo. Then up towards Torrentino, which is going to be the tighter left-hand hairpin. And Dubeck this time has a quick look up the inside. He's up the inside. Garisto sees him coming. He's going to try and fight back, but Dubeck takes the lead of the race. So now all of a sudden Dubeck is leading the car in 5th place, Tobias Downhauer, is not going to be the champion anymore. It would be Martin Dubeck that would claim the championship title by 3 points. So Tobias Downhauer has to gain 2 places in reality. He's got to get himself ahead of the number 22 of Justin Kuntz. And then when he's done that, he needs to then move ahead of the car ahead of him, which is Nave Talor. We go on board with the championship leader, Tobias Downhauer, who has to make progress. Fantastic shots as they head up towards Curve Grande all of the time. Martin Dubeck starting to disappear up the road. There's not a great deal else he can do. He's on maximum points for this race, and at the moment is in a position where, as long as Downhauer is in 5th place, the number 7 would pick up the championship title. Francesco Garisto in 2nd place, now starting to bottle up cars behind him. He's got a little bit of damage also to the left-hand side of his car. You could just see the bodywork flapping. That will slow him down, and Nave Talor sees that as an opportunity to try and maybe steal 2nd place away. The Italian having none of it. The Israeli sits behind. But for Francesco Garisto, the pressure is starting to build. Justin Kuntz looks at the inside of Nave Talor, who needs to attack and defend at the same time. Tobias Downhauer sees it as an opportunity to try and move up from 5th to 4th if he can. They head up towards Torrentino, but the order still remains the same. And now Leonardo Colavita is trying to close in as well to make it 5, fighting over 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th and 6th position. Round through the S's they'll go. Garisto still at the front of this queue of 5 cars. All of this played beautifully into the hands of Martin Dubeck, who's pulling away all of the time in the lead of the race. But for that number 50 car of Tobias Downhauer, remember, 5th is no good, 4th is no good. He's got to finish 3rd or higher if he wants to claim the championship crown. And now he is coming under pressure from the car that sits behind, which is Leonardo Colavita. So through Curve Grande they'll go. Bodywork flapping flies off Francesco Garisto's car into the face of Nave Talor, who's got 2 wheels on the grass heading up towards Chimney 1, and he's going to go through into 2nd place. The Zolder race winner goes through it ahead of Francesco Garisto. Justin Kuntz will try and work his way through, but can't quite muster it as we go on board with Tobias Downhauer once more attacking Justin Kuntz for 4th position. An important overtake. Can he make it stick? Through goes Tobias Downhauer up to 4th position. Now, 4th place would mean he'd finish this season on 444 points as Colavita goes wide in the background. He would lose out on the championship, Tobias Downhauer, by 1 single point. Now he's in 4th place. He's got to gain 1 more place, whilst Martin Dubeck still continues to lead. Through Trinchea, up towards the end of the lap once more. Nave Talor starting to pull away from Francesco Garisto's slightly battered car, who still hangs on to the podium spots at the moment. But for Tobias Downhauer, he has got to try and overtake that car that lies ahead of him at the moment. The flapping bodywork has now been removed from Garisto's car, but he is, at this stage of the race, slower than Tobias Downhauer, and Downhauer needs to take this place away. At the moment, the championship is going the way of the number 7 Ford from Hendricks Motorsport. The number 50 of Tobias Downhauer tries up the inside of Francesco Garisto, a really important move for the championship. And if he goes through, that all of a sudden now means in 3rd place, Tobias Downhauer will become the championship by 1 single point from his teammate. There's a bump in the rear from Garisto. And now Tobias Downhauer is in a position that 3rd place would give him the championship by 1 single point from Martin Dubeck, and there's not a great deal more Martin Dubeck can do, really. He's leading the race, he can't do any more than that. He's reliant on what happens behind, and particularly what happens to the number 50 car. Here is our race leader, Martin Dubeck. He will know what is going on behind him, the spotter will be telling him, and he'll still be pushing as hard as he can, the Czech driver. Works his way out of Sorati, still in the lead of the race as he heads over the crest at Trinchea and up towards Semafora, the left-hander. Martin Dubeck will be keeping his fingers crossed that there might be a twist in the tail somewhere. It's been a great race so far as we go back on board with Tobias Downhauer, champion-elect, as he heads up towards Semaforo. Onto the brakes, and lock brakes for Tobias Downhauer. He's in the gravel trap and he's into the barriers. That has huge implications. The car is damaged. Can he even get back out of the gravel trap? He fires it back up, but he's losing places, and all of the hard work he'd done to get himself into a position to potentially lift the championship crown has all been undone, I'm afraid. Tobias Downhauer will continue in the race, but he's got damage to the car, and he's no longer in 3rd position, which is as a bare minimum where he has to be, whilst Martin Dubeck leads the way. Amazing how at a finals weekend it can all be going to plan, and then it all becomes unravelled very, very quickly. So Martin Dubeck leading the way and on course to become the EuroNASCAR 2 champion for this year and follow in the footsteps of Vittorio Garelli, who claimed the championship last year. Out of the final corner, up towards the checkered flag, Martin Dubeck wins the race and claims the championship in the process. It will be Nave Talor that will come through to finish in second position, and Justin Coutts will finish there in third place. What a race to end the season. Celebrations from Martin Dubeck, commiserations to Tobias Dauenhauer. So Martin Dubeck makes his way back around the circuit and in towards victory lane, where the Hendricks team are ready to receive him. Understandably, he's absolutely delighted with that. Let's hear from the race winner and our champion, Martin Dubeck.
I don't know what to say. It was an amazing race from first lap when I saw Tobias behind me. So it was amazing, and then almost whole race on first position. I'm really happy. I don't know what to say, but I'm really happy. I cannot trust it.
I know what to say, Martin. You're the champion in EuroNASCAR 2 for this year. Onto the race podium they'll go. Martin Dubeck, Nave Talor and Justin Coutts on the race podium. And then we'll see the championship trophy being awarded as well, going the way of the Czech driver, Martin Dubeck. Delight for him. Commiserations to Tobias Dauenhauer. In the Rookie Trophy Championship, Alberto Panebianco was the champion for this year. The Legend Trophy champion was Max Lanzer for 2021. And the Lady Trophy champion was Ariana Cassely. Congratulations to them all.